Welcome back to Mirror of Fate. So let's continue Alucard's quest. Not the same, doesn't have the same ring to it, but...
I'll just say this, based off of the...
Alucard's Night.
Alucard's Adventure.
No, Alucard's Night. That's it.
We're actually about to get our first boss fight, believe it or not. Oh
well,
shit. What happened?
It's... Man.
It's Pepe Le Pew Crocodile cousin. That's more specifically, this is what happened to the Night Watcher after he was actually consumed by his own beasts. He became this.
Either that, or this is Pepe Le Pew after he got axed from Space Jam and New Legacy.
I hate you because I'm about to make the same joke.
Pepe Le Pew assault mode.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, for the strategy, don't even bother throwing your bats because it actually eats them and uses the bones of them as a projectile. Yes, really.
Oh, that's clever.
This is one of those games that gives you a tool and immediately it's useless against
He looks
the
like
first boss.
Hey Jova. Hey Jova, that white mask thing that boss has, he makes him look like a creature from Belmont Wonderworld.
Oh my god, it kind of does.
Seriously, why the white mask?
Well, the original white mask that was on the model resembled the one of a plague doctor, so there is that.
Oh god, like Balan Wonderworld. Now you're making me imagine Konami and Square Enix doing a crossover of their own, like, I don't know, crossing over Castlevania.
I could see an Itadaki Street special that involved both Konami and Square Enix stuff.
Imagine, what if they crossed over Castlevania with Power Wash Simulator? Yes, folks, Square Enix funded a simulator game. Wash away.
No, actually, King Sora goes to the Castlevania world.
Speaking of power washing, you need to actually grab this thing in order to actually, break it and release some acid on top of the beast to actually damage it a bit more.
How nice of acid to be hanging out in there.
Aha! I see we're operating on cartoon logic.
Not entirely. We literally have to bust our way out of his gut.
Well, yeah, but the digestive system should have killed him, but just by being in there.
Pedro. He's a vampire, and besides, look at that thing. Do you know how its digestive system works?
I guess.
it might take a couple of hours to be effective. So if Alucard actually manages to, escape,
I guess.
Yeah. True. That is a thing. Like, even with digestion, we have to remember it's not instantaneous.
What it has is also like some kind of regenerative ability, which is why we need to pour acid to cement the damage that we did.
Sure.
He also loves to spray these explosive Tic Tacs. I don't even know what those are.
I guess it's kind of like well, sure. That makes sense, I guess. It's not like with how Carlo Collodi apparently thinks that whales don't digest things. So
we just have literally everything just standing there in their stomach.
Well, remember in the original books, because I actually read those. Geppetto stays on the whale for quite a while.
Especially because it's not even supposed to be a whale, just a giant shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. I forgot about the shark thing.
The version that reimagining.
Sure, yeah. Even then, my point still stands, though.
Aquaman was talking about.
Yeah.
Hell, the fact that it's a shark makes my point even stronger, considering,
Yeah. Oh, you bastard. For the final phase, it's just gonna stay up, so you need to actually use the triangle move while avoiding the spraying Tic Tacs.
Is it gonna throw barrels at us and we have to
again, these explosive Tic Tacs.
Well,
speaking of
go ahead.
Speaking of Nintendo references, a thing that I forgot to mention, but apparently I noticed, in the original 3DS version, one of the scrolls that you can obtain is an actual reference to Luigi's Mansion, because apparently the knight deceased in that point is actually Luigi, and talks about wanting to find a mushroom in order to escape a dire situation. Sadly, it was a scroll that was actually changed in this HD version, alas.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember Gigaboots were talking about that part.
It's. You know what, though? Maybe that was exactly the reasoning. Maybe the reason Disney has subsequent adaptations changed it to a whale is to make it slightly more believable.
Well,
As believable as a talking puppet.
Well, okay. At the very least, somewhat. That's why I said a little more. That's why I said a little more. You know, obviously.
Ironically enough, Monstro, and again, this is ironically because this was before the species had ever been established, but
So,
apparently Monstro represents a now extinct version of whale, so that
There we go.
ironically ended up working out.
Alright,
That
time
way
to
It's also
see
the
this
worst
shit,
stage in Kingdom Hearts 1.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how Pepe Le Pew's termination lawsuit ended.
Nah, I'm gonna disagree with you there. Just still, I'm gonna.
No, wait, it's not. Okay, it's not the worst.
I
There
still
you go.
prefer it over Atlantis.
Atlantica.
Exactly. Atlantica is about the worst.
There we go.
Definitely.
By finally just there you go. By throwing it away like so. There we go. We also Alucard has gained a new power, the Shadow Claws. We can use them to actually grab onto walls, and to basically have a wall jump maneuver.
What's going to stop that beast from just swimming
We
back?
chopped also the limbs, Jova, the cutscenes.
Again, what's going to stop him from just swimming back with sheer force of will?
It doesn't work that way, Jova.
Tio, it's the Castlevania universe. There have been beings who have been able to survive while just being heads.
Yeah, there we go, got it.
Again, unless you see a body burn, you usually assume that it's gonna get back
And even
up.
that, it doesn't work 100% of the time.
True.
Alright, next up, we're about to get, if I recall correctly, a peculiar item. Well, another staple,
Oh
but
my, look
I'm
at
not
the
sure if we're
time.
doing now. Yeah, it's the actual clock tower.
Shame they didn't do a remix of Out of Time for this game.
Alas. Although there's a lot of, there were a lot of actually, electrified platforms.
Time's up, Alucard.
Oh, you don't? This is another transformation that Alucard discovers by accident, the one of a white wolf. There we go. This is a bit of a change compared to the past because Alucard's wolf form usually was grey, but Mercury's team, being people from Europe and actually fans of tabletop RPGs, decided to be more cheeky and have a reference to the actual white wolf, which is a reference to tabletop games like Vampire the Masquerade.
I mean, it could have been worse. He could have turned into a useless rat.
Rats are not useless, Job. I will not stand for this landering.
Well, okay. I said specifically a useless rat. Like, it would be a shame if the game made you turn into a useless rat.
Don't
Like
worry.
a rat that can't do much.
Don't worry, Terry.
Watch more, whatever. I will mention it another time.
Don't worry, Terry.
Anyway.
You'll get your vindication when we get to Plague Tale.
That's not vindication if the rats are the thing that you're supposed to avoid and kill.
Well,
Don't you see, though? It shows that they're not useless in that game.
exactly.
Okay, you want to tell me vindication with an indie game? Try Ghost of a Tale, actually.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight doesn't have anthropomorphic mice, as I recall.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
so they have mice. King Knight stage.
Well, those are more tools. I'm talking about an actual anthropomorphic mouse, for the universe, because they do have anthropomorphic animals.
Oh, well, I was talking about, like, actual rats, because, Shovel Knight has rats with propellers and explosive rats.
Yeah, King Knight's rats allow him to save him from falling off a bottomless pit.
Also, Teo.
It's basically Beat the Bird from Mega Man.
Also, Teo, you're looking at things from the wrong perspective. Think about this. Obviously, people have been mistreating rats for way too long, and now it's time for them to get their comeuppance.
Yeah,
Oh, man, so it's the Rat
just
King?
one plague, and you're always the for all the time.
Yes,
So
yes,
what,
exactly.
The Rat King from TMNT?
I mean, seriously, though. So what if a rat has been known to be able to kill literal babies in their cribs before? Like, what? We kill their young
I mean,
and
that's
suddenly the humans
that's
start
what
to
you
blame
keep
us for
cats in
them?
your house for. I'm not gonna lie,
Or you can
People
just take
can't
care
afford
of
a
your house.
cat. Well, Dad, sometimes a rat or mouse will persist in hanging out in your house, even if you do hold it up to pristine care.
And that's
Okay.
why you go
Depends
to the
where you
black
live,
market.
also, like
And-
what environment you generally live around.
This
And
next
that's why
part
you
is
go
a
to the
bit
black
tricky
market.
because of the disappearing platforms and the electric barriers, which can actually lead you to an actual pit that kills you because it actually has spikes on it. Yes, apparently we're also applying Mega Man rules.
Spikes, a vampire's one weakness.
I mean, yeah,
Carmilla managed to survive a lot of spikes.
they technically are, because you have to hit him in the heart and it'll kill him.
That's the thing, though. You fall like boots first here, so I guess. No, I guess in this case, cogs are a vampire's weakness as well. So those aren't even spikes; those are just cogs.
Basically, the wolf form, aside of being an actual boost up in combat, serves you to actually unlock these particular doors.
It is weird because originally Alucard's wolf form was, ran on all fours instead of being
And it was
bipedal.
mostly used for actual, speed puzzles.
Funnily
No.
enough, this feels more akin to Cornell's wolf form from Castlevania 64.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough. Maybe
Just
I guess
white.
it's an homage because the actual
It
Cornell
might
in
be.
this world is dead.
Yep.
Yeah, Cornell's an interesting character from the lore. And, hey,
Actually,
he's
one of the more savageable things from the 64 era.
And hell, he's one of the few people who got an overall good design.
Alright,
and,
Jonah, while you're at it, go ahead.
I have studied the puppet manufacturing process carefully. First, they cut the wood, and when they polish them, then connecting them together with iron nails. Then they add a coat of paint and assemble the blades. Finally, a human soul is introduced, and a spell is cast upon them. Magical strings are used to control them.
Yep.
How
We'll
nice.
get an actual more snippets about this kind of process in the second game when we learn the actual backstory of the toy maker.
Wouldn't it be funny if they pulled a Resident Evil and, one of the dialogues that we read was actually from somebody who became one of the monsters?
Okay, I think there was there is an actual scroll that talks something about someone being tempted to actually join the people. I read this one, why not? The abominable corpses that are preserved inside these tanks will formally seem to be the product of a cross between werewolves, vampires, and humans in different stages of gestation. What diabolic experiment were they doing in this place? It's true what they say. Frankenstein's mark is upon this place forever.
How nice.
Also, yes, I forgot to mention this bit. The scrolls actually do allow you to level up because you actually do gain experience both in the game, and the more you level up, the more you actually gain different attacks. Normally, it's more, instead of actually being like in the previous and the next game where you spend your experience points to get what you want, you will do instead in different ways. Anyway, Alucard exercises strange influence over the castle's bands, which serves him when called upon. On the order of the master, they attack a target, hitting and confusing him for a few brief moments. When infected blood of a river spreads through Alucard's veins, claws grew out of the tip of the fingers. With them, he can descend slowly down chasm and climb down vertically. Fed by an inner rage, Alucard can unleash the beast within
Huh.
and his enemies. In this state, Alucard increases combat strength substantially and gains the ability to destroy doors marked by the face of a wolf. With the right level of concentration, Alucard can divide the body into million particles, thus avoiding enemy attacks and resolving his dodge ability. In this state, Alucard can absorb the little life force of all creatures and go through barred doors, opening areas of the castle only available to the vampires of Dracula's domain. Go ahead, Joda.
Like I said, Cornell was one of the few characters blessed with having an actual good redesign in Castlevania Judgment. Okay, look, I'm just gonna say this. I don't necessarily hate overall the look of Castlevania Judgment, but man, those designs for
It's more of a
characters are
questionable. It's more of a
hilarious.
literal questionable thing in the sense that you actually do ask what were they thinking.
I think Carmilla's takes the cake, not because of the boob window, but those stilettos. Like, goddamn, those stilettos are mimetic.
All the better for stabbing people with, I guess.
I thought you were going to say stepping, Shirai.
Stabbing.
Okay, You know what?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
And then, of course, the most infamous one, Simon Belmont. Or
There
should
we
I
go,
say,
Dej. We get
Light
the
Yagami.
stopwatch.
A vampire that
In its
that
classic
can
form,
stop
actually.
time? That's interesting.
But yeah, the stopwatch is actually another classic staple of the sub-weapons, and thankfully this one is actually not altered at all. It even has instead of being sometimes it's represented by the hourglass, like in this case, but other times it's represented instead of an actual like pocket watch. So that's pretty neat in how we actually handled it. And in this game,
I wonder
it's no
if it
exception
means
either.
the world to him that he can do that.
Go ahead,
So-
Jova.
Anyway, Shuri, this is Carmilla's design in Castlevania Judgment. Imagine walking with those. Oh, by the way, she apparently has a dueling disc on her left arm.
It's more of a gigantic arm cover, similar to the one that Yuffie has in
Yeah.
7.
Seriously,
these
Again,
designs
difficult
in
to walk in,
Judgment-
but a practical
this
weapon.
these clothes designs make Nomura's worse seem sane. Jesus.
I'm sorry, but these
Oh.
designs in Judgment are borderland trash.
Again.
Every
and-
single one of them. I know it's like, oh, it's done by the Death Note artist, but it's like, I don't care.
And then
It's
there's
so bad.
Simon's, which is literally just like Yagami if he went to the gym.
Yeah, if Light Yagami, instead of using the Death Note, he was like, I'm going to the gym. Then I become god of the world.
Okay, so to be fair,
Don't you mean king of this world?
Alucard got a relatively fine design, but then there's Death's design, which is just weird. Like, I mean, seriously, get a load of this for Death. Death looks like he's going to a mixture of a rave and also some medieval cosplayers
What
down here.
the hell is this garbage?
But Jova, what about in Castlevania 2, where Dracula doesn't look anything like he's supposed to?
Well, to be fair, they were still working down one. And you know what? Funnily enough, Dracula's design is one
Well,
of the
that's
better
because he's the
designs
one
for
that looks
Judgment.
more consistently like his original counterpart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually, even though it was his first review, I definitely will say that James Rolfe got a nail on the head with that game. Like I've never liked Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. It's just a terrible game all around.
Wait. That was literally his first ever review?
Yeah, it was.
Yes, actually.
He he originally made 4 VHS recorded reviews. That was just something that he made for fun and was sharing with his friends. Later, when YouTube became a thing, he decided to upload those because why not? And they got super popular, and that's why he started the show proper.
I forgot. Was
the
one
rest
of those
was just
for the
right.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde one?
Yeah, that was the second one too.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, Alucard came out relatively intact with his design, surprisingly. He just looks like Sephiroth if he were a good guy.
The sword design is a bit weird. I will
So
agree that the
Sephiroth
handle
before
specifically.
Wait, so Sephiroth before the knee behind incident.
It was
I guess it's really more of a claymore than an actual, katana.
if you go.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
also another thing. That's also another thing. After Symphony of the Night, the popular thing to do for Konami in general was to give Alucard an actual signature weapon, even though he actually had one, which is literally called Alucard's sword. Instead, they actually decided that his weapon was supposed to be the Crusadegrim, which is actually one of the most a weapon that you can actually potentially, miss out if you're not careful enough in Symphony of the Night. I don't understand why they chose that one to be his iconic weapon.
But
I
on
will
the
say-
topic of
I will say that as someone who typically prefers 2D Castlevania, I actually find this gameplay overall more inviting to me.
I can get that. But
It's still
on
the problem is that at the end of the day, it's still a short game, and it still has some nicks. But you'll be able to see him through the end. Go on, Java.
But on the topic of designs that really screwed the pooch on Judgment, Grant Dynasty. What the ever-loving hell did they do to Grant Dynasty? Or
They made
I
him-
guess the Mummy Man?
Wait, isn't it Dynasty?
No.
Dynasty, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Dyna- like-
Dynasty. It's Dynasty. Danasty.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah, what? Yeah,
I
why?
guess they really
Anyway,
want him
the
to
upgrade what we
become
got, the upgrade you got allows us to use these rails kind of like the exact same way Booker
Okay.
does in Bioshock Infinite. I guess someone at Mercury Steam was a fan.
Okay, I just gotta wonder, what was Dracula thinking when he implemented these
Whee!
into the castle?
It's a fun run. To be fair, these are still contraptions done by the toy maker, so I can't believe he made them this particular way.
And I guess Dracula was cool with this. It's like, whatever.
But yeah.
That's like
If lots of Shot is anything to go by, Dracula seems to have enough actual respect for the toy maker despite everything.
Again, that's one of the missed opportunities of this game. Don't get me wrong. It is how we are best introduced to a lot of these characters. But Lords of Shadow 2 also does not do much to really build off of the relationship that Dracula has with his servants, unfortunately.
No.
Which is an immensely missed opportunity. Okay. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, Pedro, yeah, that's the thing. This game is inviting. Yes. Probably more inviting if you're more into 2D stuff. I guess the only issue is like, well, it can feel by ratio shorter than the typical 2D.
Like you have better choices for a customer in the customer.
I'm no doubt.
To play
I don't doubt that, but it doesn't seem that bad so far.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, that's a bit. No, Joe, but if you go back and watch the review, no, you can tell it's one of his early ones because there's no intro. He literally just starts. This game sucks. Castlevania 1 and 3 are great Nintendo games, but for Castlevania 2, the designers were not thinking straight. And and he's talking in a very monotone voice, you know, and everything. So it's so clearly 2005-ish.
When it comes to my feelings on Castlevania 2, I still like that game, but I completely recognize the problems people have with it. Key among it being, of course, the goddamn cryptic clues.
Doesn't help with the actual, you know, the fact that the NPCs do not actually help you. In fact, there is an actual ROM hack that actually fixes the NPC dialogue to be actually more in your favor.
Not only that, you can pretty much skip most of the bosses.
That too.
Of course, the incredibly flow destroying message that we all like to talk about, and it like, and when you compare, like, hell, you can even compare it to Castlevania 1 and 3, its contemporaries, and yeah, it just feels so weird. Like the overall design method of that game feels so off compared to 1 and 3. It's just weird.
The one thing we do have to remember, it did essentially...
Time for another puzzle. This time the one that you actually got a snippet of, because this is the time where Samuel was actually, you know, confronted by the merry-go-round, you know, the fun fair. So instead, who wants a good old-fashioned light puzzle in order to fix this thing? Yeah, I don't remember doing these kind of things with Simon. Don't worry, again, Simon will be fine.
3 weeks later.
Yeah, this puzzle may take a bit. So let's instead... There we go. Now we just need a bit of fixing.
So it's like some of the puzzles in Battletoads 2020, got it.
Well, thank God Alucard's
Well, I still enjoy this. Like, I cannot speak for Battletoads 2020.
Well, thank God this isn't the kind of light that hurts vampires, otherwise...
No, this seems to be just this concentrated
light.
The
light that typically hurts by sunlight, this looks more like an artificial made light.
Yeah,
so
it's another contraption by the toy maker.
That's the thing though, Pedro. Originally, in the first Swords of Shadow game, all these light puzzles were lights that would hurt vampires, but they're not now.
It only hurts when it's convenient for the designers to joke.
So yeah, let's see the cutscene this time from Alucard's perspective. No. And he recognizes something around the neck of Simon.
Don't come any closer.
Even though you can still clearly see me.
Now you do so again. Why? Who are you?
Oh, and even Dracula is peeping around. Gabriel, stop being a peeping Tom. Nobody.
I love how he's standing up there on the porch like he's fucking Batman or something.
I mean, he literally is, I guess.
Did you
I'm Batman.
My father.
Also, Dibs, you mentioned that you wanted to have, you know, Robert Carlyle as a villain again. I guess your wish got granted.
Yay. I mean,
He plays-
this was quite a few years before T2 Train Spotting.
Well, okay, didn't Once Upon a Time started already at this point?
Yeah, it had. He was.
And I think Mr. Gold was present almost since the beginning.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
Rumpelstiltskin
no.
in that one.
Yeah. He showed up from the beginning.
Wait,
Okay, then.
what year did this game come out?
2013. It was supposed to actually be released at the end of 2012, but it was actually pushed a bit back.
Yeah, because Once Upon a Time did start in 2012.
Okay.
I thought it started in 2011.
Alright, time for our actual second boss fight already.
Just look it up.
It's time for to gain our revenge against the mechanical demon monstrosity.
Hey, survived.
Again, imagine Daddy Pig's voice attached to this thing.
Okay, actually, Joe was right. It was 2011, October 23rd. Oh god, that show's gonna be 10 years old in a few months. Oh god.
Oh god, oh man, oh god, oh man.
God, oh man.
Yeah, watch out with this guy because he can attack at any, regardless of your position, he can actually have an advantage of attack. So the best strategy is to always dodge, no matter where you are.
So, should we mention the twist with this beast, or...?
No, again, it
Well, I mean,
keeps
it's
mentioning
kind of-
that him and Alucard have already met, so it's a matter of understanding, first of all, to actually finish him.
Not just that, but you can pretty much recognize him from the start of the game.
Well, yeah, it's pretty understandable the fact that this is the same thing that Gabriel, capturing the Pokeball, and when he actually became Dracula, he decided to actually keep.
Oh
Alright,
boy,
now
more
it's
powerful
time.
than ever.
He's about to actually recharge his batteries, so we need to actually. There you go.
Behold, Alucard, my laser light show.
It's actually instead of now about time to destroy these batteries that are fanning, propelling his powering up. There you go. It's a matter of destroying them, and when you're done with both, you'll get to the final phase. Shit. Ow.
Get hurt.
Ow.
Yeah, imagine Richard Ridings. Yes, Mr. Ridings, we need to sound to sound like you're very in pain for a few seconds. Give us some samples. Again, just remember Daddy Pig's voice actor. Right? I can't get it off my head. I'm sorry. It's just so
imagine that
bizarre.
Just
There we
imagine
go.
that you're skewering Peppa Pig's father, Lynn from Lynn, making a wonderful barbecue meal out of that.
Oh, wait, so this is Lucina?
Where does that come from, then?
For some reason, in the Peppa Pig wiki, they said that Lucina from Fire Emblem is the main antagonist.
Wait, what?
To kill.
Beautiful.
I don't even.
And somebody's just not gone in to edit that.
Yes,
No.
the time traveling warrior who went back in time to try and save the world from a bad future is the bad guy.
As it is written, it is now
Yeah,
canon.
she's trying to kill Peppa's family, and there even spawned fan art. Like,
There
oh,
we
you
go.
find
Is
it.
there no bacon in the future?
I guess.
Okay, I gotta check and see this.
Okay, for the final phase, it's basically a DPS check because the beast keeps trying to torment, and now you're an actual more secluded space, so you need to actually destroy whatever
go.
remains of their health, before it actually, you cannot actually escape his attacks. Yeah, the stopwatch also helps. Alright, let's finish this.
Oh my god, it's an entire section even.
Beautiful.
Not even just like a one line, there's a page for it. That's dedication.
Oh yeah. Just
And
you
by
won't be eating
feasting
these.
on the beast, we actually do gain wings for a double jump. How convenient. There we go.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
It's gonna be. He's fine.
He'll just need to walk it off.
Walk it off, walk it off.
I kid, but no, there are literally some characters who have just had to walk it off in Castlevania.
It's like in Tarzan 2014, where Kala gets shot, but she just walks it off.
Juiced Belmont, anyone?
Even Dracula's minions. Anyway, see you for the next part, where we actually conclude, Act 2 and Alucard's revenge quest.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.